be hokey or something weird. No, it's gonna be good. It's going to have, documentation from an explorer, recent events as well, all tying together the conspiracy theory of the hollow Earth theory today. So, get yourselves nice and comfortable. Grab yourselves a nice tinfoil hat, a cozy cup of tea, or join me again as per our last conspiracy theory night with a little vodka soda, or no, vodka water. I love these. Cheers. Oh yeah, I should add too, before we really get started, if you have not already, please like and subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Wednesday, either crime, conspiracy, cooking, or cosmetics. The 4 C's, as I call them. And yeah, I have a larger percentage of viewers that are actually unsubscribed, so please join the little spooky family. And let's get into today's crazy conspiracy theory for you tonight. So I know I said we'd be talking about the Hollow Earth theory, which we are, but it's starting off with a discussion and a retelling of the explorer Admiral Richard E. Byrd, and kind of his experience and tale, because I think that this kind of ties together a lot of things I've seen on social media, even in the news lately, and this comes from a long time ago, so he is the starting point of this hollow earth theory that I'm putting together for y'all. Where am I from? So, Admiral Richard E. Byrd had signed up for the American Armed Forces as a young man, and soon he very easily made his way up the ranks, taking on many difficult missions that earned him several honors, including the Naval Cross, which is a very big deal. He was adventurous, and in 1926, he was the first person to reach the North Pole by air, and he was then awarded the Medal of Honor. So in 1927, he had taken on a non-stop flight of the Atlantic, but had crashed his plane during takeoff. But he went on to accomplish that trip later that year and received the French Legion of Honor. In 1928, he sailed south to the Antarctic, taking a large crew and assorted equipment. He had a few ships, and planes for the expedition, which were to be used for exploration purposes and reconnaissance. Now, because of his success in these trips, he was promoted to admiral only at the age of 40, which was the youngest admiral in American history. Now, while in the Antarctic, he had discovered a dormant volcano named Mount Sidley. In 1954, he was a guest on a TV show where he was asked several questions about all of his trips and explorations, specifically to the was in charge of the development project. Okay, very accredited man, lots going on, a great career, right? So a lot of what he has to say then, should be taken into great consideration, right? Well, it was in the specific story that we're going to be talking about was never actually documented publicly until March 5th of 1947 in the Chilean newspaper that first indicated what and whom he encountered. Yes, whom? Well, in Antarctica. So the crew had just set up camp, and Byrd, along with his companions, took a flight from their base along the South Pole. They had flown over 1,700 miles of ice plateaus, just frozen terrain, nothing to see really except for snow and ice. So Canada all the time. However, things changed quite soon, and he'd actually documented his records of this trip as he documented records of every expedition he went on. He'd always kept a diary where he'd wrote, everything that he'd encountered, that he'd saw, and in this one, it was very particular. So, essentially, he's flying across this ice terrain. He discussed the sunrise in the area, and then went on about, in his diaries, the frustrations that he had on having to keep his most incredible and amazing flight a secret. He goes on to say that not long into his flight, and he had his radio man with him, a slight oil leak was discovered. They had then started to feel quite a substantial amount of turbulence, and had lowered their altitude because of this. As they'd flown over the frozen landscape, they'd started to notice that the ice had started to become more translucent and even change color. First noted to be yellow, second red, and purple not long after. The compass that he had was disabled, and so the only way they knew where they were going really was based off of the sun. I guess as all of their instruments had then malfunctioned, which I gotta say probably was scary and terrifying. Now, they had started to see, as all of their instruments are just going to crap, they had started to see a kind of large dip in the planet, in the area, but they could see mountain peaks kind of coming out of it. It was dark, and they descended into this area. It was very gradual, to the point where they almost didn't notice that it was happening until it was very apparent. So their aircraft lowered more and more into this area, to the point where they could no longer see the sun. But it was incredibly bright and well lit in this area, as if, it was just daylight and the sun was present. As they ascended, unsafe hands. The plane then descended onto a platform that then brought them to a platform onto the surface, but then that platform went underground even more, going deeper and deeper into the earth. Byrd watched, startled, as two blonde men then approached the plane, knowing his name and asking him to open the cargo door. The two in the plane, Byrd and his radio man, had stepped out of the plane and onto a platform that, although had no wheels, had moved them throughout the city with ease and quite fast. They were then taken for drinks and accommodations for a short while, and were then summoned to go to an additional area with more escorts. So this is when Byrd was separated from his radio man guy. He was taken to an elevator that ascended to a long hall that led to a great door with writing and scriptures around the side that he did not find familiar. The door opened, and he was then told to enter. He'd stated in his diaries and in retellings later that the room was so beautiful he could not describe it. He was greeted by an elderly man at a long table who had indicated to Byrd to join him. He explained that the only reason he was allowed to enter this realm was because on the surface world he was a well-known man of noble character. Now, the term surface world made it clear to Byrd that he wasn't crazy. He was inside the earth, and this was not a regular plain area that he'd been before. So he was now in the inner world of the domain of the Ariani. He was brought there to take back a dire warning, said the man that he was talking to. He had stated that the inner earth people were concerned with how the humans living on the surface had found a way to split open the atom. He knew they were creating atomic bombs, and at this point I believe Hiroshima just had happened. And normally they would stay out of these types of affairs, but once tampering with this atom, they'd stated their presence and went to the surface to discuss with the world leaders how important it was that this was not used at all. Unfortunately, they, I suppose, came in their odd equipment, and the surface world did not want to listen to them and had shot at them. They said that their culture of the inner world was thousands of years beyond the surface world race in science and many other ways. He had stated that the surface world was not currently at the point of no return, but there was too many among the leadership groups that would rather destroy the earth itself than let go of or sacrifice the power that they had had. The man further had stated that a black fury was to come. No weapons or safety in science would help. All human things will level into vast chaos, and that this has happened once before in the Dark Ages, and that only some in the human race will survive this storm again. He had stated that when the time comes, his people will help revive this culture, and he hopes that the surface world learns the about this, and I believe he was very harshly judged, by the way, after all of this. But what's interesting is Byrd saw this insane world, and he stated he couldn't, none of his equipment worked, and then as they were flying, they just saw this massive, huge dip into the surface of the planet. And once they went in there, although there was no sun, nothing, it was bright and full of life with cities and people, and no one wanted to listen. Isn't that interesting? Well, when I had heard this story of Richard Byrd, Admiral Richard Byrd, it got me thinking of a few other things that I'd seen on TikTok and in the news lately that all to me just sort of go together in a coincidence way. I don't think so. I don't really believe in coincidences. But if you look on TikTok and you see those Google Maps that they have, where they zoom in and you can see odd things, if someone knows where this video is, please link it below in the comments. But there's videos where people drop a pin and they can see in a couple of areas on the earth, one being in Nevada, I believe, there's these massive pools that look like holes, and they're dark green, and you can't really see anything within them. But when you look out from there, there's like tanks surrounding the area to make sure no one gets to them, which is a bit extreme and interesting. And there's only a handful of them, but you can actually see them on the map on Google Earth, and they're always heavily protected areas. So in my head, I thought maybe these are other, holes that can lead to this area, perhaps, and they're just heavily guarded, which would not surprise me, as in this story. The inner surface person that was talking with Richard Byrd had stated they had sent their ships up to talk to us, and we had shot at them and wouldn't listen to them. And they were oddly shaped crafts as well. So I wonder if some of that, released footage from the Pentagon, where they were like, yes, this is real, and they're odd ships that you can't track. What if these are them coming and checking on us, or trying to warn us, and us simply not listening? It's just very odd. Also, too, something I found interesting is they stated that he was allowed to enter as he was noble on the surface, right? Well, no one is allowed to visit Antarctica, which is odd. Now they say that it's due to harsh conditions, extreme weather, and no permanent population on the continent. So there are no regular passenger flights, right? Most flights transport research personnel and supplies to the bases. What are you researching? Ice? Come to Canada. It's very interesting to me. They also say that the lack of infrastructure is difficult to recover a stranded aircraft in case of emergency, which sure makes sense. However, why is there a treaty in place, the Antarctic Treaty, collectively stating no one can enter? trees in there as high as 130 feet. It is insane. They've had research groups go in and they described it as a dense undergrowth of lush green vines and massive trees. They had stated the environment reminded them of Avatar, the trees and vines entangled like spider webs, and you have no idea how deep your next step is going to be. The plants are so brittle that you can pull them down with your hands, but they recover just as quick. When we came up from the path, it was completely hidden again. All of the foliage went back to normal. There was also caves and evidence of an ancient underground river and a small underground lake. Experts say they wouldn't be surprised if there are unknown species found in these caves undiscovered by science. It's just, it's interesting, isn't it? I just find it interesting. This giant new sinkhole is found, and there's so much to be discovered inside. So what makes Byrd's story so surreal? Perhaps the people, the civilization. I don't actually think it's that far-fetched, though. And when you just put in other things and other conspiracies together, it's very, very interesting. And then one last piece of a different puzzle I want to throw in here to try and just like paint the picture of like this possibility for you guys is the possible ocean that was found underneath the ocean. Now, I'm just going off of my memory here. I tried to find something on it, and I think I'm looking at the right thing. I might not be. But scientists discover an ocean 400 miles beneath our feet that could fill our oceans 3 times over. Now, I feel like that was something that was discovered in maybe 2014 or something, but I know I saw somewhere recently that very deep below the depths of the ocean, and if you guys have this somewhere, please link it below. Someone had found what appeared to be, or should have been, the bottom, but actually, while swimming, or not swimming, I think they were in a submarine, was ripples below them, as if the top layer of water, which doesn't make sense when you're in water. And then when trying to, yes, they were in a submarine, when trying to lower themselves into it, they couldn't, because the water was so dense that it could not go down, but it would ripple as it moved. So where they were, which was incredibly far down, there appeared to be possibly another ocean below, but that they could not break through. It's just interesting, that's all I'm saying. I don't know, you guys, I don't know, but I find the Hollow Earth theory so interesting, and the more little stories I hear like that, I'm like, well, that's probably part of it too, and I bet that's part of it too. And this one always has made me, just so intrigued. And I wanted to do a video where I talked about kind of all of them in one, but honestly, more and more things keep coming out. So I wasn't gonna get them all, and I couldn't even find all of them as well. So I'm paraphrasing some of it off of memory. But either way, there's something more going on. But I don't know. It's just one of my favorite conspiracy theories, that's for sure. Lately, at least. So, what did you guys think of today's story? Had you heard of Admiral Byrd before? And if so, also find it odd that sinkholes have whole other, giant systems within them, and oceans might be within them. Just overall, what do you think? If you have anything also that can connect to this and add more to it, leave a comment below because I love it and I just need to know. I'm so excited. I'm trying not to talk really fast. I need to calm down. I just love this theory. And I cannot wait to hear your guys' comments. Let me know everything you think. Because I think about it. Okay. I'm gonna relax myself here. Well, that's the end of today's little conspiracy theory. I want to thank you all for coming and hanging out with me tonight. Please, if you have not already, like and subscribe and leave more conspiracy requests because I need them. I have some that I would love to cover, obviously everything behind me, but I want to go a little more theatrical with those. And I would just like a bit more content from you guys because I love doing your recommendations. So please leave any sort of recommendations below for me and I will cover them for you. With that being said, so that I don't keep rambling, stay safe. I hope you found this calming, intriguing, interesting, relaxing. And I look forward to hanging out with you all next